Well, it's a lovely spring day, so I thought I'd come out. And not much of interest to video because job stopped. Anyway, I'll explain in a moment. But so we're out in the countryside on a lovely spring day, and you know, it's just the right time of the year. Because look, you can see all the crops coming through. You know, you've got winter wheat and barley and field of rape just flowering over there, if you can see it. And oh, we've got another cyclist coming. But the birds are singing. And I've done with my camera with the zoom, couldn't I? But if you can just see it in the distance, there's some nice clouds hanging in the sky today. That's alright. But what's happened to me? Well, I've hurt my shoulder again. In fact, it's about the most serious accident I've had. There was a dog show at the weekend, and I went to where I only go once a year now, just to see some friends. You know, I've been in it a long while. And I was waiting for the while we were waiting for it, a woman come, 10 years I think, and she sits dogs. Quite a few cars and cyclists about now, look. Anyway, she asked me to, she was a bit late and asked me to walk some dogs. So I said, of course I will, you know. So got in the back of the van, which is a transit sized van, so I'm stood like about on my bonnet, on that height. And her van is, she's got dog cages in, and it's got dog cages in with a gap. So I got in the van to hold the door shut. She passed me two dogs, so I'm stood, you can imagine the scene, I'm stood like this with two dogs, holding the lead. Well, suddenly this dog let out of prison after 3 hours, took a leap for freedom, and it dragged me onto this side, on my left side. And she parked, there's a tennis court used to be, and she parked with the back of the van on tarmac. So I went full length onto the tarmac from about 3 foot in the air. Well, it's not terribly serious. I got a few cuts and grazes and nothing too serious, but I had another dog in this arm, and I've just got my shoulder right. So I can hardly use my right arm. Just today, this is Sunday and it's Wednesday today, so just on Sunday I managed, you know, I've managed to get going a bit, so I'm a bit happier today. But anyway, who can't be happy out here, look? Hey, I mean, it's gorgeous, isn't it? In the springtime. And I've just come out at the right time, because in a day or two this will all be green. If you just walk over here, you can see, because this only happens about one day a year, doesn't it? You see, I'm sure you can see that, look. There's a little bit of green just coming out on the hedges, just a bit. So in a couple of days it will all be green, so it's just on the change. So that's why I thought I'd take this quick little bit of video just to show you that Lincolnshire is definitely part of England's green and pleasant land, isn't it? Right, if there's anything more of interest to show you, I'll show you later. Well, we're now about 10 miles away in the Wolds. Now, I've stopped here before. It's on Barney's day trip to the seaside video, but just to show you again, and unfortunately you won't get a full benefit off this video, but it does show you that just sometimes it's quite nice, isn't it? This is called the viewpoint for the reason, because over in the distance is Lincoln, just to your right. And this, by the way, in the Wolds, it's an area of outstanding natural beauty since, I've mentioned this before, since 1972. It's where I grew up, just 10 miles from here. 8 miles from here, rather. Not far. But it's, as I say, we just seem to have got the time right. So I'm doing as much for myself as other people. Although it's nice just to show it. But that's just a hedgerow, obviously. But that's the view out there. And again, you can't see on this camera, but there's a big hill, because that's Belchford. It's called Belchford, that in the bottom. And if you look at one of my videos of Lincolnshire's villages, you can see that because I had the camera in the car. Well, here's the last bit of England's green and pleasant land. It's quite nice, isn't it? A bit of the wold, you see. And although you won't be able to see it on this camera, even with the other one you can't, a little gap just over there, you can actually see the sea from here. So, there we are. Anyway, it's a nice little spot, isn't it? Just a bit cooler up in the wolds, and if you see the clouds, there's a few more clouds, still some nice blue patches, but a little bit more cloud now. Anyway, still a nice day, and I'm pleased to come out. So there we are. And also, if you notice, because it's a bit cooler here, the crops are a little bit behindhand. There aren't any. It might be. It'll be just sown. This will be spring wheat and that. But oh, this is spring barley. This is. But just it was noticeable. You know, just a few degrees cooler up here, and the crops are a couple of weeks later at other places. You can probably just see it through that hedge. Right. Bye.